I mean, this is by far the best fish farm in Minecraft. You should have seen it coming. I mean, didn't you see the signs? This farm is not only an XP farm, it's a bone meal farm, it's an emerald farm, it's a food farm, it's a trident farm, everything your heart desires, that's this farm. Today we are going to learn how to build this farm quickly and efficiently, and I'm going to prove to you why you need it in your Minecraft world. Alright, let's follow the path of our fishes here. So the fish either spawn in these bubbles or spawn on the side. They get pushed down using the water flow down here to this trough, where they will flow down here, get pushed into this column using the pistons, and then get pushed up using the water bubbles, eventually making its way up and flowing all the way down to the trident killer. Guys, after AFKing for a long enough time, you will get tridents. I mean, look at this. Tons of bones, tons of cod, tons of rotten flesh. And guess what? You can use this to trade for emeralds. Alright, so remember with this fish farm that your wide coordinate matters. So you're going to swim down to the bottom of the ocean. Watch out for drowns. And you are going to build up all the way from the bottom all the way up to Y level 86. Now this is going to be our platform from where we do everything. Eventually we are going to break those blocks beneath us, but this just helps us get going because we are building this backwards. So the first thing I'm going to do is break the block that is the 86th block and jump back up and place glass because I want to see what's going on in my farm. I'm going to place 4 glasses just like this, and then 2 more here. On top of those 2, I'm going to place a double chest. Then behind said double chest, I'm going to crouch and place a hopper pointing in, there we go, to the back of it. And then point another hopper pointing into that, and then do 2 more just like that. Okay, now I can take blocks and kind of build up around. I'm going to build up a wall just like this and come around each one of these hoppers. Here we go, trying to make it symmetrical. There we go. And then I'm going to build up another row just like this. This is going to help keep my minecarts with a hopper in place. Now for this part, you can use normal rails. It just gets tricky because they all circle around and make a circle. So to avoid that, use something like detector rails or powered rails, just like that. That way your rails stay straight. All right, now we need a minecart with a hopper here, 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 and here. There's probably a way to do this with just like 1 minecart with a hopper, but this feels like the simplest way to me. All right, we need another row of blocks, just like that. Now we need 4 magma blocks, like that. Then we're gonna put a block here and a block here. And now we are going to make our trident killer for our fish farm. Trident killers are pretty easy to make. In my opinion, this is the easiest way. Place a piston there, 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 and there so that it looks like this. Then you come to the side of the piston that is closest to the corner. You're going to crouch. I have done this in survival. It gets a little tricky. But basically, you're going to place an observer facing into this piston, and then an observer facing into that observer facing into the piston, and you're just kind of making a circle so that all the observers face each other or face a piston, just like that. Now down here we can throw an on-off switch by placing a lever on the piston and flipping it twice. And that starts our trident killer. Now I'm going to place blocks on top of the trident killer on the edge, except these blocks I'm going to make glass. Gonna do another row of that. And from here we can actually throw our trident in. And as you can see, it's getting pushed around, so it's always going to be killing whatever falls in. Now you can leave your platform looking like this. However, I like to make mine a little fancier. So I'm going to go ahead and extend it just like that. I'm going to build up some glass walls so I can see out, kind of an ocean view kind of thing. And I'm going to build up those glass walls all the way past my lever. And then I want a roof on it as well. That way I'm completely protected. I'll need a way in and out, so I'll place a trapdoor there. and a ladder going out, but that will not work on glass. So I need to use solid blocks. There we go. Now I can climb out. Okay, so we're done with our AFK area. We're done with our trident killer for our fish farm. Now we need to get the fish from down there up here. To do that, I'm going to build out 8 blocks this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 blocks from the ledge. Do the same thing here. And then I need to make a trough, so I'm going to place blocks there like that. Do the same thing on this side. Make those 2 blocks tall, like that. And so that nothing escapes, I'm going to extend those walls this way, just like that. Now let's make a back wall like that. And to see if we measured right, we are going to place down a bucket of water here and a bucket of water here. And it should flow straight to the edge. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is memorize the coordinates of this back corner right here. -249 and 807. So I'm going to jump down. Find -249 and 807. It's right here. And I'm going to build all the way from the bottom of the floor going up. This is just going to help me measure later. Of course, I'm going to get stuck, so I'm going to break these blocks and finish my column like that. Okay, then on this column, I'm going to find y coordinate 56. Should be right there. If I place down a block and stand on it, it should say 56. Nope, mine said 57, so I need to go down one more. There we go, 56. And I'm going to make a square that mirrors the square that's up there. I'm going to make that square out of blocks. And then I'm going to fill in the middle with 4 pieces of dirt, just like this. Now, obviously, you are going to need respiration or something to give you breaths. If you want to, wherever you're working underwater, take a magma cube and place it and come and crouch down on it, and it will refill your air. Here, look, I'll turn this to survival so you can see. All right, so as you can see, I'm running out of air. I just crouch, come back over the magma cube, it fills it up. Okay, and now from this platform here, I need to build up all the way to my top section, all the way around that dirt. And again, you might have to break some blocks temporarily. You just come and build over those again. If you want to get rid of this water just to make it easier, you can. Just replace it later. Let's go ahead and do that all the way around this square here. Okay, once you've finished this tunnel and I'm on the inside of it, I want to show you what it's like. You need to fill up the water all the way to the top. That's really easy to do. Just lay down some water, grab some water from the row below, which is infinite, lay down another one, and keep doing that until you have infinite water on this level, and then go again. Where you see flowing water, if you just grab from underneath, come up, and add the water to like a corner, like see that corner right there. Now there is another way to do this, and that is to come up to the top, temporarily break these 4 blocks, lay down water here, and here, and here, and here. Then you can swim down, take seaweed, and plant seaweed all the way up to the top. That makes all of those blocks water source blocks. Okay, then you can actually swim down and break your kelp, and then you'll want to replace these 4 blocks again. We'll use dirt just to mark them off well, because we're going to have to mess with water flow, so we don't want the water underneath mixing with the water above. I'm going to go ahead and place this water down again, and we're good to go. Now at this point in the build, you need to come to this side right here of your tube. It's the same side where your AFK platform is. You need to go down to the very bottom, and right here you need to break this block, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Then what we're going to do is take an observer, face it down like that, take another observer, face it up like that, oops, like that, there we go. And do the same thing on this side right here, observer facing down, observer facing up. Then we're going to come inside, place down a piston right here and right here like that. Now from here we need to come back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're running into this. We're going to go ahead and break that. 8. Should be a total of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 9, including the piston. We're going to copy that row right here. Then we're going to build up right here. Then we're going to come up here and come back 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 should be 8 in total. And we're going to do the same thing here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then here we're going to place a wall like that. And we're going to build this wall all the way up 2 blocks above the surface of the water. Do the same thing here. And then we're going to take this block that's under here, right here. And we're going to come back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. Do the same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we're going to come forward until we reach the corner of this tube right here. So we just need to make those corners connect. Do the same thing on this side. We're going to extend this back until these corners connect. And then we are going to take this wall, this ledge, and extend this all the way around 2 blocks, matching this wall that we built earlier. And that needs to go all the way around like this. Okay, now coming to this back wall here, right here, we're going to place a block here and a block here as well. And this is going to take a second, but we are going to put soul sand starting here, extending all the way to our tube right over here. Do that on this side as well. And now we need to bring this back so that the total number of soul sand is 8 rows of soul sand. So there was 1, 2, 3, you get the point. So your bubbling water should come to the edge right before this wall like that. Let's do the same thing on this other side. Good, just like that. And as you can see, we're already getting fish. We're getting some loot. This is great, but we have to collect that loot and we want the XP by killing them up there. So now for the tricky part of the farm. You'll want to come in and you'll want to break this column. And what we're going to do now is manipulate the water flow so that it flows all the way over here to this tube going up. Stick with me, it's a little tricky. Let's start by coming down here where there's a gap between the soul sand and this floor, putting a block here and running a wall all the way to the tube. Doing the same thing here in this gap. And then copying that on this other side as well. Like that. And like that. Now we're going to take dirt and place it on top of this row of soul sand here. Just like this. And then we're going to extend that row of dirt all the way up so that it matches the bubbles or the surface of the water. Then we are going to take this top row and extend that back all the way, covering all the tops of the bubbles. Just like that. And then we're going to copy this on this side. So again, on the top of the soul sand, extend that wall up, and then extend this dirt back to the edge. If dirt's too tedious for you, another block that you can use is netherrack. We just need a block that's very easy to break later. So now we need to fill up all of this with netherrack so that it becomes air Also, if you have access to them, you can also use a sponge. That definitely helps. You just place it where there's a water source. That should eliminate the water. But if you don't have a sponge, it's no problem. All you have to do is just fill in all of this space down here with netherrack or dirt. We're going to break it later anyway. Okay, and the last place that you want to fill in, you'll want to come back in your tube, is you'll want to fill in these blocks right here. And then what you're going to do is break these blocks and place buttons down on the walls, just like that. Those buttons prevent this water from mixing with what's going to be air over here. Okay, so we filled in everything, but before we break it, we are going to take water and place it all along the side edge over here. It's going to flow towards the middle, and we're going to do the same thing on this side, just like this. Okay, now that we have the water flowing, before we break the dirt area, we're going to break this middle area, whether you used netherrack or dirt. We just need to break all of this so that it's air. Okay, now you're going to have something that looks like this. And this part is tedious too, but I promise it's going to be worth it. You're going to take a sign, place one there, place a sign on that sign, and you're going to do this all the way until you hit that tube again. And notice we are on the row of dirt, the first row of dirt. Okay, we're going to do that again on this side, starting with the back wall. Okay, maybe this would have been better if I waited on this water so I could just walk along the edge here. So you might want to take that into consideration as helping out as kind of a tip. Putting on the next row of signs, we're going to do this all the way up to the top of the dirt. Okay, and we have one more row of signs. And make sure and do that on both sides of this trench. Okay, and now we are going to go through and break all of the dirt as well. If we did our signs correctly, the water should not mix in with our trench. And I know at this point it would be easier to do this without the water flowing, but you do need it flowing and then break the dirt. That order of things really is important. Okay, and you should get something that looks like this, but we're not done yet. Now we need to take water and replace the water that was covered by dirt. There you go. I just had to do that corner and it's filling up this whole back row, which is perfect. And then I come over here and do here, 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 all the way to the edge. And that should fill up the rest automatically, as you can see. And now that side is done. We got to do the same thing to this side. Okay, I really like the way this water looks down here. It's very cool. Okay, and then we're going to make our way down here and place water here and here on our back wall of our build. And if we did our blocks right, it should push everything over here to the edge. Now, last but not least, we're going to take this dirt and make it into soul sand, pushing every fish to the top. And we got to break this dirt up here. I forgot we had that. You'll want to put some water sources here and here. I wouldn't put them here though, just these back two walls. So the fish get pushed up and then they get pushed down into our trident killer where they get killed. If the trident doesn't kill them, the magma will, but most of the time the trident will. And now guys, if we AFK up here, we also get drowns, as you can see. The drowns make their way up. You know what? I don't like them getting stuck there. Let's add a button here and here and go ahead and place down water source here. There we go. And here. There we go. You know what? We're going to put a water source here and here as well. There we go. And then we'll build up this. That should get everybody flowing into the trough. I love it when I'm doing a video on something and then I edit the design midway. There we go. So again, we could just AFK at this spot. You can see stuff spawning. And then I just get to sit here and watch everything in action. And watch everything get collected. If I use a looting 3 sword, I'm going to get more loot. So we are going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to survival. And we are going to AFK for a while and see what happens. Guys, after AFKing for a long enough time, you will get tridents. I mean, look at this. Tons of bones, tons of cod, tons of rotten flesh. And guess what? You can use this to trade for emeralds. Now, to have a fisherman, you need a barrel as a workstation, and you will have to trade with them coal until you get up to the next level. But once they're at a level 2, you can trade cod with them and get tons and tons of emeralds. The rotten flesh you can grab and trade with a cleric. And the fisherman will even trade for tropical fish. So if you happen to build this out over a coral reef, you're going to get emeralds for tropical fish, and you only need 6 of them to get an emerald. And then on this master level, you can also use the puffer fish for that. And you get tons of puffer fish with this if you build it out over a coral reef. Now, the only downside to the coral reef is you do not get as many bones, in my opinion, and you don't get food that you can eat because you don't get that much cod, and you almost never get salmon. So here I am in my survival world, and I am out over a coral reef, and as you can see, you get tons and tons of tropical fish. Now, there is one thing that I forgot to mention. If you want XP from this farm, these do not need to be blocks. These 2 things need to be slabs so that you can stand here and collect the XP. It comes through the slabs. I hope you guys enjoyed this bone meal, XP, trident, emerald, fish farm, everything you want in a farm. As always, thanks for watching.